Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Gold, as you all know, and I welcome to Kope radio and television stations. Station where they giving a back to back as it is suburban. As the thing they drop, we drop out for every one of us to really get an update on this electoral petition, which is still in court of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Basically, on the certificate forgery is still ongoing on this matter. So I have with me here Mr. Bleeding Pen. These are men that write with pen until the pen start bleeding. They have knowledge. He has knowledge about the electoral acts, most especially the political tenor or experiences or idea on how it works and how it goes. And that's why I bring him on board to have a personal interview and for us to get a basic update on this matter. All right, sir. You're welcome, sir, to our channel.
Thank you very much.
All right. I actually have a very simple questions and sub questions to ask you, sir. Being a man who has experience or an idea about the political tenor or a political idea, there has been this anti-panking among Nigerians from the rally of Peter Obi and Atiku and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, that from that end, from the beginning of the rally, Nigerians could view that we could view the person could be the winner of this presidential candidate. We all know as Nigerians, or most Nigerians think that the person who should win this election should be Peter Obi. So why do you think Nigerians think so, sir?
Well, if we were to look at things with from an unbiased angle, I'll have to tell you this. We need to understand, first of all, that politics is a game of interest.
You need to be hearing for our audience to repeat up, sir.
Sorry. We need to understand that politics is a game of interest,
okay,
first of all. And in this part of the world, we are known for personal interests coming before the interest of
the people,
the general public. Now, to your question, why I think everybody was expecting that Peter Obi is supposed to be the winner, right?
Yes.
Well, during the electioneering process, from the campaigns and everything, everybody could see that Peter Obi was the one with the crowd.
Okay.
And the reason why that is like that is, I believe Nigerians all have this mentality of they are all politicians. But it was now down to a case of choosing the lesser evil.
Okay.
Because whether we like it or not, I have gathered, gathered a lot of people who don't like me because of the way I view things. Whether we like it or not, all politicians are selfish. They all have that one thing, either just for it to be, I was once a president, I was once this, but it has now come to the case of choosing the lesser evil. So, looking at the track records, that is from the views of everybody now, looking at the track records, well, Tinubu has a track record, the sitting president has a track record of building persons.
Okay.
And in this process of building persons, in our kind of society, when you're building people, you're putting them in place for kickbacks. No matter how genuine you are, you're doing that because you're supposed to earn, either you're supposed to earn kickbacks or you're expecting them to do so, to return a favor. Like the terms the mafia use, if you're very conversant with this, the Godfather book, the Godfather does not do you a favor because he wants you to pay him in cash. He will only tell you, what I need from you is your friendship. And as your friend, I am doing you this favor. But someday, and that day might never come, I'm quoting now, someday, and that day might never come, I will call upon you to do me a service, and I don't expect you to say no. Whatever that service is, he doesn't expect you to say no. Because whatever problem you bring before him, he makes sure that he solves it. Now, if we look at the president, our sitting president, yes, no disrespect, but from the track records, from what we have been saying online, he operates in that manner, the manner of a mafia. He builds people, and in return, is either you give him kickbacks or you're supposed to do him a favor sometime in your life, in the future.
Unconditionally.
In the future. I don't want to say unconditionally because I don't have a first-hand information of that.
Okay.
Then in the case of Peter Obi, his track records shows that okay, he is or he had been very diligent when it comes to governance. He doesn't spend recklessly, according to the track records. He doesn't spend recklessly. He gives an account of how he ran his term as when he was a governor.
That means he was transparent enough.
Yes. So that is the reason why I think a lot of Nigerians feel, okay, between this person that builds people and expects a favor in return as payment for the service he has done by building you, and this person that has a track record of transparency, I think it's better we go with this person, not minding the little evil that might be attached with governance. I think that is the reason why a lot of Nigerians had to go with the case of, supporting Peter Obi. And let me quickly add, this part of the world where we live in, I can tell you, first of all, I studied political science.
Wonderful.
And if you want to, I can remember one of my professors back then, I think Professor Adekanye, he was one time our HOD when I was in 100 level. He said, if you want to be a very, very straightforward political scientist, you don't have to participate in the political process like you contesting for a position or attaching your interest to a particular candidate or platform and party. So whatever I am telling you right now, whatever I am saying right now, I am saying it as a neutral person, viewing things from different perspectives. Yeah. Now, we all know that this part of the world where we are, Nigeria is still a growing nation. In fact, I frown at people who compare Nigeria to the likes of America, because America is over 200 years old. Why Nigeria were in our 60s? Just be like ancestor and their proteges. Okay. So now, in this part of the world, whether we like it or not, if you like, let the whole of Nigeria support you. It is those in power that decide the outcome of the coming election. Take for instance the case of Jonathan in 2015, I think. Yeah, 2015, between Jonathan and Buhari. Okay, let's start from Yaradua. Yaradua, after he won his election in 2007, I think there was an address where he said that he knows the process that brought him in was not free and fair, and anybody was free to go to court. But I think the reason why Yaradua was probably he wasn't dragged that much was because a lot of people saw that, okay, this person even knows that the process that brought him in is not a straightforward one. That means to an extent this man is a sincere person. Then down to 2015, Jonathan could have used all the apparatus in his power because he was the sitting president at that time. He has all the weapons in his arsenal to make sure that he becomes the next president. But being probably the peaceful person that he had always been.
That is for the second tenure.
Yes.
Okay.
Being probably the peaceful person that he had always been, he understood that, okay, his political ambition is not more important than the lives of Nigerians. Therefore, he just lets things go. And whether that process was rigged or not, in favor of the opposition party at that time, whether it was rigged or not, Jonathan played a very, very vital role by letting things go. So if it were to be someone else, the person would have done everything possible to make sure that he retains power until after he had done his own 8 years. But unfortunately, not everybody is like Goodluck Jonathan. That is the reason why I have this personal perspective of he who pays the piper detects the tune. The person in power will always make sure in this part of the world that he uses everything, every weapon in his possession to make sure he wins. So whether you gather the whole Nigerians,
it doesn't matter.
The thing will still come back to that point where the person with them put for office will decide finally to say as it be, and that's where the major game plays.
So are you trying to tell us now, sir, that His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not really win the elections, or because from your own explanation, I get that there are systems that rule or that governs the Africans, you know. So are you saying there are set of people who decide?
I know the question you're going to ask, and let me quickly tell you. Take me for my word. I am not saying he did not win the election, because if we go by what is empirical, what we can see, INEC announced President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as INEC announced Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. And right now, he's the one that was sworn into office. So if you ask me, I'll say, well, judging from the INEC final results, Bola Ahmed Tinubu won the elections. But there are reservations.
Okay. All right, quickly, let's go put it down to the issue of court, being in court. Now, because there was an instruction was given that if you're not satisfied with the outcome of the election, go to court. Why that word?
Well, let me still come from the perspective of a neutral person.
Okay.
Now, if I am fighting over a piece of land with you, and then I tell you I have the upper hand,
okay,
and with all my powers, either with force or any which way, I was able to take the land from you, and then I tell you, if you're not satisfied with the outcome, go court. If you know if you go court, go Babalawo shrine. I am invariably telling you, I am not saying that is what the situation is, but I am invariably telling you that statement is a conditional statement. To an extent, it could mean that, okay, I don't bribe the chief priest.
So you can go to any length you want.
It could be that, okay, whoever is in charge of the court, I have my way with him. And let me quickly refer you back to The Godfather. You see, the Mafian ideology have this mentality that nothing, there is nothing that cannot be achieved.
Okay.
The Godfather, Don Vito Corleone, would say that every human being has a price tag. So if you're bringing a proposal to him and he's turning you down, it is because you have not mentioned his price. Now, this price could come in different dimensions. Like in the instance of The Godfather that I gave, his godson, an actor, came with a problem of a movie producer refusing to give him a role that will make him a very big shot. And this movie producer is a billionaire. So giving him money
it's not his problem.
It's not a part of it. That is not going to work.
It's not going to work.
He has a connection down to the president of the country. So promising him that you're going to help him with some union issues is not going to work. So what was the only weapon? The only weapon that the Godfather had to use was a threat to life. His most valuable horse, that's the movie producer, he bought a horse of $600,000.
$600,000?
Yes. And he studied the horse. not for race, he just kept it as a pet. And with his kind of security that he has, they were still able to penetrate and kill the horse, detach the head, and put the head beside him on his bed. And still he did not know until the person that did it had gone. That was when he woke up. And when one of his aides was telling him, do they make a report? He said no, that this person that passed this message is only trying to make him understand that no matter how secured you are, I can get to you. So that statement, go to court, could mean a lot of things.
All right, so that's wonderful. Because of our time and because of what is happening, and we really have a short time in the studio. Now, from the Court of Appeal, the judgment given from the Court of Appeal to Labour Party, that's His Excellency Peter Obi of the Labour Party, that 25% in the FCT is not a guarantee to become a president, which means is as like the other state, is not a special state, a special state from the other 36 states. So what do you have to say about 25%, the word and 25%?
Now, fortunately, let me say fortunately for me, English and literature were my favorite subjects when I was in secondary school. And you see that term, 25%, and FCT of the 36 states, and FCT.
Because that and I think it's a conjunction of
yes.
Okay.
Now, it is, to me, I don't know how other people see it, but to me, I see it as a very, very simple term.
Analysis, okay.
Yes. Now, if I am saying all of your brothers and Uche, share this money for all of your brothers and Uche. That means I put all of your brothers together because they are of the same tribe. And I said, and Uche, because Uche is an outsider that is not a member of your immediate family.
Okay.
Now, in the case of this thing, they said 25% of the 36 states and FCT.
Okay.
That means FCT, if you're going to calculate everything, you're calculating 37
states.
Not states, let's not use states, but let's say 37 regions.
Oh.
Let's not use states.
Okay.
The reason why they said the 36 states is because they are all independent states, but FCT is not a state. It is the Federal Capital Territory. That is why they did not say 37 states. They said 36 states and FCT. That means FCT is included in that 36 states. Now, if it were to be that you need a separate 25% of FCT to win the election, the term there would have been, you need to win, the candidate needs to win 25% of the 36 states, also with 25% of the FCT. It would have been stipulated. Whoever wrote that act or that part of the Electoral Act, they were not foolish. They were very, very sure of the English they used. So to me, I feel, to an extent, the tribunal passed their judgment based on the petition that came, that the sitting president did not win 25% of the FCT. And if that case was to be upheld, that the sitting president did not win, I am not in support of APC or PDP. I am a neutral person. But if that case was to be upheld that the sitting president did not win 25% of FCT,
okay,
therefore you're invariably saying that the citizens of FCT are more important than every other person in the 26 states of Nigeria. That's what that will be meaning. So I don't see anything wrong in the judgment that the tribunal judges have passed. They passed that judgment based on their understanding. Because if you look at
interpretation
the three arms of the government, the legislative, they make the law, the executive, they put the law into place, like they execute it, and the judiciary interprets the law. And the electoral tribunal is a part of the judiciary. So for them to say that the judiciary is in a position to interpret the law that means they are unconsciously our subconscious mind should understand that the judiciary, before you can become a member of the judiciary, you have a very vast understanding of the law.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So I think the last question is: are you saying that are you giving a clue, or let's say a last understanding that we as Nigerians need to know that FCT is not more important than the remaining 36 states? That's one. Then two, are you saying this petition fight from Abubakar regarding the certificate forgery, what do you have to say about that? Is he going to win the court of law, or is he going to be a turner?
Anyways, to your first question, yes, the citizens of FCT are not more important than every other citizens of Nigeria. They are regular citizens like Nigeria. Although, like in the book Animal Farm, they said all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others. Now, if we're talking about the few that are more equal than the others, we have them in all the 36 states of Nigeria. We have governors, we have commissioners, we have senators, we have. So, whether we like it or not, citizens of FCT, it is the same law that is governing a citizen of Abia State that governs the citizen of FCT. There is no different constitution.
Okay, so.
Now, about the issue of the certificate, even when I have this conversation with my friends, I usually try not to put myself in a situation where I'll have to come and defend something I said earlier. The issue of the certificate, I will not really have anything specific or to say about it right now. Reason is because I already have this mentality that whether white or black, every human being has a conscience, and every conscience has a price tag. There's an atom of selfishness that comes to play. There is a possibility that the results were forged, and there is another possibility that it's just a mere accusation. Because if we're to go by the possibility of the result being forged, that means people have been bribed.
That's what.
From that university. Yeah. And if we're to go by the angle of it just being an accusation, people have also been bribed. Because whoever is...
Including, are you saying including the Chicago University and the FBI?
They are human beings.
Okay.
They are human beings. If we want to talk about corruption, America is extremely corrupt.
Oh.
Yes. If we want to go to that channel. They only, not just in America, most of the European countries, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I love Africa. And I don't like the fact that Europe, in most cases, like to exploit Africa, and our people, our leaders, are giving them the room to do so. But Europe will only make you see, they will only show you on TV what they want you to see.
Yeah.
How many times do we see on their TV channels of their junkies, and they have a lot of, if you follow Akon a lot, he said something. There was one time he came to Africa and he said one of the reasons why he respects African artists, especially Nigerians, is because if Wizkid comes out to shoot a music video in a Ferrari, there is 70% possibility that Ferrari belongs to him. But if an American artist comes out to shoot a music video in a Ferrari, there is 70% possibility that Ferrari was rented. And then he said that Americans usually implant in the minds of their children from a very young age, making them believe that Africans in Africa still jump from tree to tree like George of the Jungle.
That's a wonderful one, sir.
And that is coming from somebody that is a citizen of America. Akon is a citizen of America, but he's a black man. So every country, there is corruption everywhere. There is a I'm not saying that is the case, but there is a possibility. If we were to look at the angle of that result forgery being just a mere allegation, there's a possibility that somebody from that university was bribed, and that was why that whatever statement is coming from there is coming.
All right, sir. Because of our time, sir, on this Supreme Court matter, what is the fate of Nigeria regarding to these petitions?
The fate of Nigerians regarding to these petitions, I will tell you that I am 90% sure that nothing is removing Tinubu from office.
Why?
Good. If we're looking at the petitions, first of all, from the judgment of the tribunal about the 25% FCT and all that, the Supreme Court will still tell you the same thing, because that is the interpretation of that particular law.
Okay.
Then talking about the results forgery. Well, it is a crime to forge results, quite okay, but the requirements for somebody to contest for the office of the presidency, I think, is SSC, your secondary school results. So if worse comes to worse, Nigeria, you will say, well, he did not become president because he is a graduate of a university. He is president because he met the qualification requirements of SSC by INEC. They will only tell you that case of result forgery is a very different case. It has nothing to do with him being president. The requirements by INEC was his SSC, which does not have any controversy. That is why I tell you nothing is removing him from office.
All right, thank you very much.
Then lastly, please, if we want to have a very, very credible electoral process, there is, to my own layman understanding, from my own layman point of view, there is one simple thing that can be done. The Electoral Commission chairman is usually an appointed position.
Okay.
And I believe we are all conversant with that term, he who plays the piper detects the tune. You don't expect me to appoint you as the Electoral Commission chairman, and then you will do things that I will tell you, okay, this is how I want you to, this is what I want you to do, and you will tell me, no, okay, you're not going to do it. I can just suspend you immediately and let somebody that is ready to dance to my tune take that position.
So it means man no man.
No, man, not be man no man, man fear man. Because man must chop.
Yeah.
You understand? So if that position of the Electoral Commission chairman is left open to Nigerians to decide through an elective process who will become the INEC chairman, and the person is not appointed by the sitting president or from the executive branch, then maybe we can begin to understand that, okay, if this person wants to do what is right, nobody will hold him to ransom. But in the case of where the person is appointed, if they give him money or God do this thing and he says, I'm not going to do it based on my conscience is not allowing me, they can still make you understand that we put you there. Go and take his son and keep his son hostage until after the elections. Okay, just suspend the idiot, let him get out of office. And that is already a dent to your own career, that you were dismissed from office. Because it will be documented that in your tenure you were dismissed from office, probably based on so. So just like in the case of Emefiele. Whether Emefiele is wrong or right, I don't know, but there is already a dent on his name that there was corrupt practices. Even Bauer, the EFCC guy, they were corrupt practices while they were in office. It's already a dent on their image. But unfortunately, in this part of the world where we live in, you can still come out of prison and become president.
All right, thank you very much. It's nice to have you, right, sir? Mr. Bleeding Pen. Literally a bleeding pen, because with the little time we spent together, I've come to understand that there are wisdoms and a pure analysis about what you know, you really have understanding about the political science. All right, our viewers, we stop here right away and we meet with you again. We are still on the street to street interview on what you feel. Wait till they pay you for my Moko Talk. All right, thank you very much. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please enable to do that. Bye.